Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of my hair. Hey there everybody, I'm Crunchy Scott, and today I am making a Gilligan's Island coconut cream pie mask. Yes, that's right. If your hair has taken a beating this summer from swimming and hiking and being outdoors, this coconut cream mask is going to be super simple for you to put together and then apply it to your hair, and it'll be amazing. Your hair will look just like Ginger's or Maryanne's from Gilligan's Island. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'm usually in my kitchen whipping up recipes that are always inspired by something retro, usually the 80s. The recipes are also always vegan because I'm vegan. But if any of that sounds good to you, please hit that subscribe button and you'll have lots of content to check out on my channel. I feel a little weird calling this Gilligan's coconut cream pie mask because it was actually Maryanne who made the coconut cream pie famous, but I figure at some point I'll be recreating Maryanne's pie recipe, and so today we'll just pay tribute to Gilligan with this hair mask. So for the mask, you'll need coconut oil, obviously, and I am using Trader Joe's organic triple filtered coconut oil. What that means is that it has no aroma and it has no taste. I grabbed this right out of my cupboard because I do cook with coconut oil, despite the new studies that just have come out over the last few weeks about coconut oil. But it's something that's super simple and accessible to all of us, and I don't want that coconut flavor in my food. Now, if you have the unfiltered version, I actually think that would be amazing to have for your coconut oil mask, because the smell of coconut oil, I mean, is there a better summer smell than coconut? So I am going to add another thing to my mask. It's this vanilla bean paste. Now, I typically don't add vanilla bean paste. What I do is I take, you know, the vanilla beans that you get from the grocery store when you scrape them and you're kind of like, what do I do with the pod? Well, I take a little piece and I put it in a little container with the coconut oil, and I just stick it in there and let it just kind of sit and smell nice. So when I open it and I'm like, oh my gosh, coconut and vanilla bean, I mean, it really does smell like a coconut cream pie, which can you go wrong with that? So, two simple ingredients. Hopefully they're two ingredients that you can find right in your cupboard. One is totally optional. If you got the coconut oil, then you're ready to go. You by no means have to be precise with these measurements. I've got about a tablespoon, I think, of coconut oil in here. And then you can see just on the end of my chopstick, I've got just a little dab of the vanilla bean paste, and that'll be plenty to kind of flavor that up. Not flavor it up, but, you know, scent it up a little bit. And that really is there just for scent. It's not helping your hair. So I've got, like I said, a tablespoon of coconut oil in here and a little bit of the vanilla bean paste. That is going to be plenty for many applications of this. I would say my hair, it takes about less than a quarter of a teaspoon to do. If you've got really long hair, it's going to take a little bit more, probably like half a teaspoon. But you can judge, especially if you're like, oh, you know, I just want to make one little batch for me right now. I would just go with like a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a little bit of the vanilla bean paste. The great thing about coconut oil is it melts at body temperature. So if yours is nice and hard because it's been in an air-conditioned house, you just need to swirl it around a little bit and it'll get all nice and loosened and creamy. So I just take a little bit into my hands, get it all nice and liquidy, and then I start running it through my hair. And my hair has taken quite a beating this summer, although it's still in really good shape, I gotta say. This summer, I think I've been spending a lot of extra time outside because, you know, it's supposedly, if you're in a place that's not super populated, like there are tons of people around, like in a park or something, it's a little bit safer to be outside during this crazy COVID times. So I have been spending a lot of time outside doing exercises and just walking and stuff like that. I've also been lucky enough to spend a lot of time in my garden. So my hair has just been getting bleached and bleached by the sun. I've also been doing this little thing called sun in, if you can believe that. And if you'd like to see how that's going, I actually uploaded another video. I did a sun-in test. I'm kind of in the middle of it right now, but you'll be able to see the full results from the link down below, and you'll see, yes, the 80s sun-in bottle is back, and I'm trying to go blonde that way. The other thing I did, that I just got back from my parents' house, and they have a pool. I did not go to a public pool, obviously because of COVID, and I was able to swim, and you know what chlorine does to your hair. So anyways, with all of those things going on, I really have been relying on these coconut masks to help me with my hair. Some people say you should start at the root and then work your way down. Some people say you should start at the ends and work your way in. I have no technique for it. This is the longest my hair's ever been in a long time, but I know this is still fairly short compared to some other people. Some women might have longer hair, and even guys have like super long hair now. So you do whatever you feel is right. The only thing I will say is I kind of would stop at this point. I don't want it to be saturated or dripping with coconut oil. That brings me to my other point, is you don't want to wear something nice and new when you're doing this, because if coconut oil does get on your shirt, it's gonna stain, and it's not gonna stain, it's gonna leave like a little oil mark. So you don't want to wear something nice. And you can even just, I would do it like naked. I have to say I smell pretty amazing right now, even with that triple filtered coconut oil. And I've never noticed this before. There's still the very slightest aroma of coconut, and I don't mind it at all because it doesn't translate into my food, but it smells amazing mixed with that vanilla bean paste. So you gotta do this because it is aromatherapy gone wild for sure. So while my hair mask is setting and doing all this work to make my hair beautiful, nice, and luxurious, I thought it'd be fun to kind of go over some trivia from Gilligan's Island. So I'll just run right down the cast list and give you interesting nuggets about each one. And we will start with the skipper. So the actor who played the skipper, so that when he got the word that he needed to audition for the role, he was halfway across the country. And in order to get there, he had to hitchhike part of the way because there were no buses or trains or planes available for him to get there. So he did whatever he could. And of course, back then they just didn't have Uber. So the actress who played Ginger, her name was Tina Louise. I always get that confused. I want to say like Tina Fey or Tina Marie, but it's Tina Louise. She said that when the role was pitched to her, it was supposed to be a cross between Lucille Ball and Marilyn Monroe. And I thought that was actually pretty interesting because, yeah, I can totally see that. The actor who played Thurston Howell III, who his name was Jim Backus, at the time that he was doing Gilligan's Island, he was also tracking the cartoon Mr. Magoo. His beautiful wife, Lovey, actually spoke with that snooty accent. If you ever saw her in any interviews, she talked that way as well, which is kind of funny. And she was about 13 years older than her TV hubby. Us diehard Gilligan fans know that the Professor and Maryanne were not included in the first season credits. It just said, "and the rest." And that's because, according to Ginger's contract, she was supposed to be the last actor to appear in those credits. Now, we all know that changed the next year because the song was rewritten and it became "The Professor and Maryanne are here on Gilligan's Isle." Yeah, don't listen to how I sing, but it's a great opening credit. This has now become a Gilligan's Island Ferris Bueller mashup. Oh my gosh, look at that. My hair is long. Anyways, I wanted to mention that when you do apply your coconut mask, really work it into your scalp because it does do a lot of good things for your scalp, that coconut oil. So I wanted to mention that, and I also wanted to say that I do leave my coconut mask in for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max. I have seen a lot of people on YouTube, particularly women, who tend to leave it in overnight. I've never found that that's necessary because I get really good results after a couple of hours. And then, to get it out of your hair, I just use a really good quality shampoo. No need to condition. But making shampoo mohawks is essential. Gilligan's Island only ran for 3 seasons from 1964 to 1967. Less than 100 episodes, and that just blows my mind. For us 80s kids, Gilligan's Island was a total part of our after-school lineup. Something that's part of my regular lineup these days is my coconut cream mask. I do it once a month, a little bit more often in the summer, and it keeps things feeling nice and healthy. Okay guys, in the comments below, I really want you to do this. If you're a guy, are you a skipper or are you a Gilligan? And if you're a girl, are you a Maryanne or a Ginger? I'm definitely a Gilligan. But if I was a girl, I'd be... I forgot to give you trivia on our favorite character, Gilligan. We all remember the episode where the crate washed ashore, and yes, lots of things washed ashore because they needed storylines, but in this crate was a real-life lion. And in one scene with the lion and Bob Denver, there was a lion laying on the bed and Bob Denver was in the room, but I guess when he exited the hut, the lion, unprovoked and unscripted, leapt towards Bob Denver. Now, thankfully, that bed on the set was not secure and the lion lost its footing and was not able to land on Bob Denver. And there was a lion trainer on the set as well who was able to get him and get the lion under control. But it blows my mind because we remembered this show for a lot of things, but had there not been some shoddy 1960s set work, we could be remembering Gilligan's Island for something very, very different.